1 week I will be in the sheep mountains on the plain going to sheep hunt sheep. So that's pretty exciting. Today we're going to try the 375 Winchester with a couple of controls. Bullet testing. We're going to test 200 grain factory power points, 250 grain factory power points which have been discontinued, 255 Barnes originals, and some homemade 230 grain made out of a flat noses with a cantilever made out of a spear semi-round nose, 235 grain. Chucked in the lathe. So let's see how today goes. We're going to be shooting a wet newsprint and 1 liter water bottles just to give you an explosion idea. We're going to start with 200 grain bullets. We're going to go low. And my prediction, well, these will have the lowest penetration of all of these bullets and the most explosive effect. I think the 255 grain bullets will actually penetrate quite well, but those 230 grain spears I have big hopes for. Hopefully they expand. Okay, 37. This will be a 250 grain factory load PowerPoint. .230 grain spear. See right away when you check the entrance hole that expanded less. The entrance hole has got less expansion. You can tell right away. That probably penetrates like crazy. 255 grain Barnes originals. These are made for the 3855, but I put a different cantilever on them. And these are going about 1850. The 250 PowerPoints were 1750. Oh, here we go. And that is a straight hole. That didn't expand at all in the water jug. 200 Winchester silver tip out of a 348. This will be about 24.75. You can see the effect. It just cratered that thing. 225 Sierra, 2415 out of a Browning BLR. Oh, that's a nice gun. Okay, recap. 200, 250 PowerPoints, 230 Spear, 255, 225 Sierra, and a 200 grain 348 bullet. I took these down to 229 because I think it's got a wider meplat, so that means it's going to do a better job in the tubular magazine. But these function quite nicely, and they expand more than the 255 grain Barnes bullets. So I might go buy another box and convert a bunch of these and standardize on that. because they also don't shoot too bad. I bought this gun because I want to have a cast gun. So I'm looking for a 375 bullet with a wide Meplat that's 250 to 270 grains with a gas check. And it'll drive them 1800, which is as fast as you want to drive a lead bullet. So there's no disadvantage of using cast in a bullet gun like this. They're not terribly accurate. I'm trying to get 3 inches at 100 yards. So I think I can do it. And that's under 2 inches. So I'm starting to think I can make anything that goes bang shoot. So here's our data. So the 200 Winchester PowerPoint. Oh, look at how nicely that expanded. Kept 85.2% of its weight. Penetrated 8 inches into really hard-packed wet and dry newsprint. That's be a great deer bullet. The 255 grain bullet also hung on to it was 87.6%. Also expanded really nicely, but penetrated only just a little bit more. So this is one maybe hardly measurable. The 200 silver tip from the 348 Winchester as a control bullet only hung on to 68.2%, but penetrated a full inch more. The 225 Sierra in my 358 Winchester Browning at 2417. Look at that beautiful mushroom. That's the biggest mushroom of the day. 78 caliber. And 92% of its weight retention. Also the tops. Really good. Penetrated 11 inches. 255 Barnes came next. It was going 1856. 12 inches of penetration. It tumbled. I don't think it expanded that well at the beginning, and then it expanded lopsided, which created a tumble in the media. I think it would have went further, but it doesn't really expand evenly. So its expansion was actually fairly low. And the 230 Spear, very reliable bullet, 14 inches. It was the winner in this test. The lowest expansion, but very good weight retention, just about the same as the Sierra. And I think it'll stay together every time. And if we look at these bullets on the side, you can see that 200 doesn't have much shank. The 250 PowerPoint does. The 200 silver tip turned into a little ball. This little guy kept some shank. The 225 Sierra, this is a misshapen kind of blob, but it's kept its back, and that's quite beautiful. Now it's only the front expands. I don't know if it's going to expand out at 150 yards, but it's the most accurate bullet in the 375. Is these reformed 235 Spear made into a 230 grain. And I've even had more luck when I get them down to 229 grains. They're a little more blunt-nosed. So that was an interesting day. With one bullet, that 250 Winchester, you don't get any more. These PowerPoints, not the most accurate bullets, although the 250 is pretty good. But boy, they're sure designed to expand well at those low velocities. Nicely done, Winchester.